Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 21st of 2023, and given that there's a lot of Star Wars projects that are in different phases of development right now, by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Tony Gilroy, and even George Lucas working hand in hand with all of them to make sure that everything goes in line with the Star Wars Legends material, being accurately as done as much as possible. We also have Timothy Zahn becoming an advisor for many of the upcoming projects that are based within this post-Return of the Jedi era, since it is going to align with the overall structure of Heir to the Empire. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the overall subject. Now, what's really intriguing about everything that happened with Gina Carano, which, by the way, she was fired well over 2 years ago at this point, ever since that February to March timeframe of 2021, when Kathleen Kennedy fired her in the worst way possible, and in the most unprofessional way that I honestly have ever seen in the film industry. We've seen this remained divide between Star Wars fans because of that reason as well. You have a lot of fans that either support or really despise Gina Carano, and this is going to be an ongoing thing that's never going to get fixed. But one thing in particular that's very exciting about Gina Carano and the whole rehire plan by Disney executives, the board, John and Dave, has a lot to do with exactly what they have planned with numerous upcoming projects. Let's discuss. Now, right now, many Disney executives are slowly coming to an agreement on how to handle the Gina Carano scenario, and how to bring back Cara Dune into the Mandoverse. Now, currently, where it stands, more than 90% of the executives, including the board, have agreed to fulfill something extremely substantial for the return of Cara Dune, portrayed by Gina Carano. Now, John and Dave's pitch to bring back both Gina and Cara Dune into Dave Filoni's movie is now said to finally be moving ahead, and Disney is welcoming Gina back with open arms to star in the New Republic movie on the big screen that they are planning to debut by 2026, unless the writer's strike continues, that could delay it all the way until 2027. Not just that, but they are also now planning to finalize the plans for Gina's return in Rangers of the New Republic that is going back on the Star Wars roadmap. Now, let me just stop here real quick, is that the fact that they are moving ahead of getting Gina Carano involved in the upcoming Dave Filoni Star Wars movie, which, by the way, is going to be a Mandoverse-era Star Wars movie. Precisely, it's going to take place some years after the events of the Ahsoka Tano series, because it's going to set up everything with Thrawn, Ezra Bridger, and a lot of elements of Heir to the Empire. And what's great about this movie is that you also have Timothy Zahn as an advisor, you have George Lucas as an advisor working hand in hand with Favreau and Filoni. By the way, Favreau so far is not writing this thing. He is going to be producing the Dave Filoni movie, and that's it. Kathleen Kennedy is not involved as a producer, and that's fantastic news, because given that Kathleen Kennedy has zero influence on this, I think it's going to be probably, and if not, one of the best Disney Star Wars movies out there. So, what's interesting, though, is the fact that they are going to get Gina Carano involved in an actual Star Wars film to come back as Cara Dune. This, I think, is a very big, expert plan by John and Dave to bring more people into the theater seats, those of which that are fans of Gina, and those of which that really supported the character of Cara Dune, and felt it was wrong for Gina to get fired in the most unprofessional way possible out there. Now, again, you're always going to have people that disagree with Gina's return, or Gina herself as either a person or as an actress. You know, you're always going to have people out there that do not support her, and that's okay. Look, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm not here to challenge anybody's opinions, but if you guys like her, you like her. If you dislike her, you dislike her. That's the end of the story. There's no changing that. But I, however, think that, you know, she's a very good actress. I think that she's a good person at the end of the day. We've heard nothing but great things about her from Carl Weathers. Even Pedro Pascal has said a couple of great things about her. but he's been a little bit more quiet. He's said a couple of bad things before in the past that kind of betrayed Gina, but he seemingly took that back a couple of times in past interviews. But moving on, what's interesting about this is that this is a full-fledged plan by Disney to boost the ticket sales for Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. Now, on top of this series revival for Rangers is set to also give Carano a major role as one of the leads in the series. However, this show is still a couple of years away from its release, as they are fine-tuning the story and will be rebranding it by giving it a new title. Many of the board members believe it's a good move to bring back Carano, and that they are not worried about a potential backlash from the fans who dislike the actress. John and Dave have already storyboarded here and there for The Mandalorian Season 4 for her return as a cameo, with a completely new design this time around, since there will be a decent time jump in the 4th installment of Mando that's going to provide Cara Dune returning as one of the involved in Special Forces. To no surprise, though, Kathleen Kennedy is trying to challenge her return and attempting to prevent this all from happening. Even some loyal to Kathleen Kennedy as executives are beginning to ignore her requests. So that's very big, is the fact that you have some executives over at Disney that are loyal to Kathleen Kennedy that are now ignoring her requests to make a proposal to stop this from happening. And not all the executives that are loyal to Kathleen Kennedy are like that, but quite a handful are right now. And that just goes to show you that they are beginning to see the shift in the tide, the turn of the tide, right? They are beginning to realize that these agendas do not work that have been going on with Indiana Jones 5, the overall Star Wars universe, and they are more in line now with John and Dave's work, because they are seeing that anything that's by John, Dave, or Tony Gilroy is more profitable, or is going to gain more subscriptions on Disney Plus, or sustain specific, percentages of subscribers on the Disney Plus platform. So it's interesting, though, that they are going to be giving Cara Dune a complete redesign in The Mandalorian Season 4, and for the upcoming Dave Filoni-centered Star Wars film. Again, guys, to be very specific and real with you all, the Dave Filoni movie has no script, alright? They're still in that notes phase right now, and they don't plan on writing this thing until at least the end of this year, by, December, maybe November of this year, 2023, and really getting that out there and finished by the summer of 2024, getting casting rolling by 2025, and then filming by that year. Makes a lot of sense about how they would want to get this out by the end of 2026. So again, it is heavily reliant on the writer's strike and where that's going to go, and depending on whether or not we're going to have a delay until 2027. Nonetheless, this is great news for Gina. She could very well be making her way to the big screen. So guys, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.